But y'all go to Moneybagg Yo's side of town while having a diss song out about Moneybagg.
Yeah.
But whole time, allegedly, right? Y'all were set up to come during this time.
Right.
And y'all know how dangerous it was.
Finesse2tymes just stepped over a boundary that has the entire city of Memphis feeling uneasy. And this conflict with Moneybagg Yo is poised to become something much more grave than a typical rap feud. Beneath all the tracks and the wealth, these two were once close allies in the struggle. But now, Finesse is insulting Moneybagg's woman Ari in his lyrics. And if you understand Memphis street dynamics, you know that is how actual battles are ignited. The startling reality behind what divided these two is far more intricate than anyone guessed, and we are about to expose it all. From bread gang agreements to street devotion, from young Dolph tension to family betrayals, this entire scenario is a powder keg about to blow, and we have all the proof. Now, before we ride this wave, let me be totally honest with you all. Social media has been exploding with Finesse and Bagg clashing back and forth, but most fans do not know the actual history between these two. They do not know about the late hours in the booth, the collective they formed together, or how significant this bond really was before it all crumbled. But look, we are about to distinguish the truth from the myths, the authentic from the fake. 2012 to 2013. That is when it all began, for real. Finesse2tymes, Moneybagg Yo, Black Youngstar, and some other Memphis rappers had a crew called MGU, Memphis Grinders Underrated. These were not just work associates, fam. These were young men from the blocks trying to escape poverty together, hitting venues, pushing their tracks, making CDs, and selling them at Walmart. This was before the stardom, before the millions, before any of this mess. But here is where it gets intriguing. Even back then, there were hints of what was coming. Finesse himself confessed that Moneybagg was always the cautious one in the group. When they would go to clubs to promote their songs or manage street affairs, Bagg would be the one trying to exit early, not wanting to be part of the chaos. And look, that is not necessarily a bad trait. Everyone is not cut out for that life, and that is real. But in Memphis street culture, that gap in mindset would eventually turn into a major conflict. Jump to when Finesse was incarcerated. While he was serving his time, both Moneybagg Yo and Black Youngsta took off. Youngsta got signed, Bagg got signed, and the entire city was watching their ascent. But Finesse was trapped behind walls, watching from a cell as his former team members succeeded without him. Now, this is where we have to mention something very vital. When Finesse returned home, he already had momentum. G-Train had 100,000 plays. Other songs were moving on SoundCloud. He was gaining heat before he ever reconnected with Moneybagg. Bagg reached out and brought him into Bread Gang. His label branch under Yo Gotti's CMG on the surface, this appeared like love. A friend helping another friend rise. But the truth was far more complicated. Finesse recently discussed this and kept it real. He stated he wanted to align with Bread Gang to make it look positive for the city, to demonstrate peace. He is loyal by nature, and he felt this was the correct path. But what he did not grasp at the time was that he was entering a trap that would eventually bind him. According to various sources, including Finesse's own brother, No Love, Moneybagg was utilizing Finesse's skills heavily. They would be in the booth, and whenever Bagg could not finish a verse or was stuck mentally, he would call Finesse in, "Hey, put 2x on the mic" type of energy. Finesse was giving his best, believing this was his brother, believing this was sincere help. But looking back, he understands it was more about what he could offer than actual brotherhood. But look, this is where the narrative goes deeper than just music business games. See, the actual break in their bond originated from the young Dolph matter, and this is some deep Memphis street drama that most people outside the town do not fully grasp. So, listen, Moneybagg Yo and young Dolph had their own feud occurring. This was well known. They had problems. They were on opposing sides of Memphis politics. But Finesse was friendly with Dolph. He was with Bread Gang at the time, but he had a bond with Dolph that existed before all the industry mess. According to No Love, who witnessed all of this, Dolph had made some remarks about MGU and the entire crew, stating they were all cowards or something similar. When Finesse heard about it, he went live and stated he would strike Dolph, protecting Moneybagg and the team. This was Finesse, being faithful, standing up for his circle, even though he liked Dolph personally. But here's the real shocker though, Moneybagg did not value it. Instead of viewing it as loyalty, Bagg got mad at Finesse for even mentioning it, because at that same time Moneybagg had just recorded a song with Dolph on I Need a Plug. That feature helped Bagg's career explode even further. All gas no brakes and all his biggest tracks followed that Dolph feature. So, in Finesse's view, he is going to battle for his friend, protecting him openly, potentially putting himself in harm's way with Dolph's team. But Moneybagg is behind the scenes doing deals with the same individual, making profit while Finesse is out here on the front line. That is when Finesse began feeling like something was wrong. They had a sit down about it. No Love confirmed he was present when they met with some elders from North Memphis to discuss the matter. Finesse stood by his actions. I stated what I stated because he stated what he stated. But Moneybagg was sensitive about it, saying Finesse was acting out and ruining his deals. That is when Finesse realized that Ivy Bag, the profit and the business outweighed the brotherhood. Now, let's discuss the bread gang legal situation, because this is where things become very ugly. Finesse has mentioned this several times, and the hurt in his voice is evident when he talks about it. According to Finesse, he felt trapped in a deal that was not helping him. He stated that Moneybagg was not promoting his tracks the way he should have been. When you are signed to someone's label, you expect them to back your work, to help you expand, to invest in your growth. But Finesse felt like he was being suppressed. In one talk, Finesse stated he heard one day that the deal was just tossed aside, basically finished. No actual talk, no real business meeting, just over. For someone who had given his devotion, his talent, and his time to Bread Gang, that was a major insult. He even stated he wishes they could have stayed partners because the city enjoys when we collaborate, and a joint tape between them would signify more to Memphis than fans realize. But here is what truly stung Finesse. He feels like Moneybagg is scared of their history and cannot see past who Finesse used to be. Finesse confessed he has made errors, that his flaws have ruined bonds with good individuals, and that Moneybagg is one of those people. He has acknowledged that he was still maturing, still discovering how to navigate the business, and that his street mindset sometimes blocked his career moves. The real news that has everyone stunned is when Finesse stated Moneybagg is traumatized, and does not want to associate with him anymore because he is afraid Finesse will get on that kind of energy again, meaning acting out or doing something crazy. Even though Finesse promises he would never act like that with Bagg specifically, the trust is gone. So after the deal fell apart, things became public. And when I say public, I mean messy. It began with Moneybagg removing Finesse on Instagram. Now, for normal people, that might look minor, but when you have millions of fans and you remove someone openly, everyone notices. That is a message. That is disrespect in the digital age. Finesse did not stay quiet. He went live and spoke on it, calling Bagg out for being sensitive and making posts about him. Remember, Finesse is the kind who has been in the blocks his entire life. He is not avoiding a fight. He made it clear he is on his own. He is not hiding behind anyone, and if there is heat, he is prepared for it. In one of his early rants about the drama, Finesse revealed some very private details. He discussed how whenever they were in the booth and Bagg could not find lyrics, he would summon Finesse. He discussed how he was the one truly working while Bagg was playing it safe. He even doubted Bagg's street cred, which in Memphis is one of the worst things you can say to someone who has based their brand on that persona. But Finesse also demonstrated maturity in these times. He would catch himself getting too angry and ease back, saying he was trying to do it for the town, trying to show the city respect. He would acknowledge that his name is Finesse, so fans automatically think he is on some shady stuff. But he was truly trying to create something real. The exchange continued on social media with hidden messages and indirect insults. But it stayed mostly in the zone of rap competition. Rivalry, but not necessarily lethal until lately. Now, this is where we have to talk about the main issue. Finesse2tymes lately teased a track where he insults Moneybagg Yo's girl, Ari Fletcher, and teen. If you know anything about Memphis street rules, you know that is a boundary you do not cross. In Memphis culture, attacking another man's lady is not just rude. It is a call for war. It is saying you do not value him as a man, you do not value his home, and you are prepared to take things to a spot that cannot be reversed. This is not about music anymore. This is personal. The streets are talking, and the general view is that Finesse went too far. You can insult a man's songs, his cash, even his street status. But when you pull his woman into it, that is when people get wounded. That is when events grow from internet drama to real-life danger. And let's be real, Ari. She has her own brand, her own fans. Pulling her into this feud puts her in a spot she did not see, and builds a scenario where Moneybagg almost must act in a major way to protect his pride. For those who understand the lifestyle, this is similar to how some of Memphis's most tragic wars began. It starts with tracks, grows to personal insults, and finishes with people getting hurt or worse. Young Dolph's situation, the current friction between different teams in the city, it all follows a matching curve. Finesse has been candid about his evolution. He has acknowledged that he was wrong in some spots, that he let his street brain ruin business paths. He has admitted that Moneybagg was trying to educate him on the game, trying to show him how to move better, but he was not prepared to listen then. That is some serious self-reflection right there. But at the same time, Finesse feels cheated. He feels like he gave his heart to someone who viewed him as a tool rather than a friend. He feels like he protected Moneybagg openly, potentially putting himself in risk while Bagg was making money moves in the background. And now that the bond is over, he feels like he lost time that could have been used, building his own kingdom. For Moneybagg's part, you can grasp his view, too. He has built a kingdom. He has major contracts. He is one of the top artists in the industry right now. He cannot have someone near him who might act recklessly or bring street heat to his brand. He has too much to lose. But by cutting Finesse off the way he did, by not backing his music, by removing him openly, Bag made a foe out of someone who wanted to be his brother, and now that foe is prepared to cross boundaries that could make this drama fatal. Think about that for a second. We are not just discussing rap drama anymore, we are discussing two men with actual street links, real money, and real pride. We are discussing Memphis, a town where heat does not stay online. We are discussing a scenario where one insult track about the wrong person could ignite something that alters lives forever. The culture has witnessed this before. We have lost too many gifted rappers to feuds that grew beyond music. And the scary part is both Finesse and Moneybagg have teams around them who are prepared to act if things become real. They both have images to shield, and in Memphis, your image is everything. What makes this even more lethal is that Finesse has nothing to lose at this point. He has already served prison. He has already lost the bread gang agreement. He has already been written off. That makes him volatile and potentially more hazardous than someone who is trying to shield a kingdom. Meanwhile, Moneybagg has everything to lose. His career, his wealth, his family, but that also signifies he might feel he must act heavily to protect what he has created. It is a losing battle that could spiral out of control very fast. In the end, the Finesse2tymes And Moneybagg Yo drama is not just about two rappers fighting. It is about what happens when devotion meets profit, when street rules meet industry games, when brothers turn into enemies. It is about the hazardous culture of insults that can turn rap drama into real-life tragedy. The actual question is, will someone intervene and settle this before it becomes fatal? Will calm minds win? Or will Memphis lose more talent to pointless conflict? And most crucially, when will we, as a culture, stop praising this kind of war and start honoring growth, mercy, and moving ahead? What are your opinions on Finesse and Moneybagg's situation? Do you think Finesse crossed the boundary by attacking Ari? Could this drama have been prevented? Post your opinions in the comments and make sure you are following because we will be tracking this scenario closely. Stay safe out there, team.